So, um, imagine trying to build a tech startup where your market is totally off-grid, has almost no disposable income, and your main competitor is the government.
Yeah, that's the landscape. We're looking at rural Tanzania today.
It's a brutal environment for any business. And we're diving into a company called Devergy.
They jumped in around the early 2010s. Back then, rural electrification was, what, something like 7%? And they scaled by, well, basically ignoring how a normal utility works.
And that's the mission for this deep dive.
Yeah.
How do they actually do it? We're tracking them from 2010 right up to the big national grid push in 2024. And it seems their first big idea wasn't about hardware. It was psychology.
Right. The energy as a service model. I mean, think about it. Selling kilowatt hours to people who've never even seen an electric meter is confusing. It's abstract.
A terrible user experience. You have no idea what you're buying until the bill shows up.
Exactly. So Devergy just flipped the script. They didn't sell energy, they sold outcomes. You paid for, say, 6 hours of light or 4 hours of TV time.
Which does something really fascinating to the economics of it all.
It completely inverts them. In the old model, the utility wants you to be inefficient. Use more power, they make more money.
But with Devergy, because they sold the service, the light itself, their incentive was to make you as efficient as possible.
Yes. If your light bulb is a super efficient LED, they can deliver that 6 hours of light using way less power from their batteries. They become an efficiency manager, not just a power company.
But to pull that off, you need incredible control over your grid. You can't just hang up some wires and hope for the best.
And this is where the tech stack gets cool. They built these modular 24-volt DC solar towers. But the key, the real backbone, was a Zigbee mesh network.
Zigbee. That's the same tech you find in, like, smart home light bulbs, right?
That's the one. It's super low power. It let all their solar towers talk to each other. And crucially, it let Devergy monitor every single home remotely from their headquarters.
That seems like the only way the numbers could possibly work. I mean, if you have to send a truck out to a remote village every time a fuse blows,
you're bankrupt in a month. Absolutely. And that efficiency let them tackle the single biggest barrier, the connection fee. The data shows hooking up to the national grid cost a family around $250.
which is just a non-starter for most people there. So Devergy basically treated the connection as a loss leader.
They charged a tiny fee, maybe $6 to $12, just enough to show the customer was serious. Then they made the money back over time with pay-as-you-go payments through mobile money.
So it turns a massive one-time cost into a small, manageable operating expense for the family.
Exactly. But then the whole story shifts. By 2024, the government gets serious about infrastructure. National household electrification jumps to almost 78%.
And the big grid finally starts arriving in Devergy's territory.
This is the moment a microgrid is supposed to die. A huge state-subsidized competitor shows up, so Devergy had to pivot fast. They went for the last mile.
Meaning the sub-villages and hamlets that were just too far out, too remote for the main grid to even bother with.
And they started using standalone solar home systems as a customer funnel.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
So you sell a family a small, basic kit to get them started.
You get them into the ecosystem. You nurture that demand. Then, once that family wants to run something bigger, like a fridge or a small mill, Devergy is right there to upgrade them to the full mini-grid.
But here's the part of the research that really blew my mind. When the national grid did arrive in a village where Devergy was set up, you'd expect everyone to switch to the cheaper government power.
But they didn't. A big chunk of their customers stayed.
Why?
It was the big aha moment for the whole industry. It turns out reliability is a product. The national grid had blackouts, voltage spikes. Devergy's DC system was stable, rock solid.
And customer service. If Devergy's system had an issue, a local agent would fix it.
Right.
With the national grid, you're just a ticket number.
It proved people will pay a premium for uptime. And that retention, that loyalty, let Devergy tap into things like results-based financing, getting subsidies they could then use to help customers finance things like refrigerators or grain mills.
Which creates a perfect virtuous cycle. The customer uses the appliance to make more money, and then they use that money to buy more power from Devergy.
That's it. They proved a decentralized utility can win by competing on service and agility, not just on price. It really challenges this default idea that the future of energy is just one massive, centralized grid.
So here's a thought to leave you with. If a small, smart solar mesh can offer better service and reliability than a national utility, are we building our energy future backwards?
That is the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Thank you for listening to Mission Possible. innovating for the world's most marginalized. This podcast is built on the outstanding work of our students, whose curiosity and commitment drive much of the research and storytelling you hear. Each episode is grounded in academic research and shaped through close collaboration with our partners. To learn more about the research and partnerships behind this podcast, feel free to contact us. Thank you for joining.